Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Critical Podcast. My name is Ryan. This is Jayden, and we've got a guest on today again, Izeah.
Hello.
Fan favorite guest,
Yes.
of course.
Welcome
we know
back,
you love
Izeah.
him.
Seems like it.
Got the Godzilla shirt on because today we are reviewing
Godzilla
Minus one.
So
I can't wait to talk about this movie.
we were a little bit late to this one.
We were.
It came out December 1st, and then we just saw it. It's 5 a.m. and we're filming, but that's okay because we wanted to talk about this
Still
movie.
energetic. We're still ready to talk
Yes,
about
we're
it.
ready.
Yes.
And we're also going to do an MCU bracket
Yeah, we're
of
gonna
some
be
sort.
giving him not an MCU bracket, but I told you to say MCU bracket. It's my
Okay.
bad. But we're gonna do, and we're gonna give him MCU movies. He's gonna blind rank them. So I'll give him a random
MCU
MCU
blind
movie,
rank.
and he has to place it, and then he can't move it.
Got it.
So we'll do that, and then we'll have a little agree or disagree thing set up, so
That's
we
always
can
fun.
see if we can get some arguments out of that.
Okay.
But Godzilla -1 review, I think that's what we all want to talk about, and that's what we all want to
Yes.
start off with. So
Got a
should we
lot
just
to
start
say.
with our ratings?
I think so.
I think we should start.
There's-
Let's go.
So there's 3 of us, so I'll point who I want to say their rating first, and
Okay.
then so on and so forth.
Got it.
Godzilla -1 ratings, 3, 2, 1,
9.5 out of 10.
9.5.
9 out of 10. This movie was
Oh.
great.
This was
I
a
love
good
this
was
movie.
great. This movie
Oh
was
my
great.
Okay,
God,
I'm gonna be
I love
honest with
this
you guys.
movie so
I'm
much.
so happy you guys think it's so good.
Yes.
Oh my god,
really
it makes
good.
me so happy.
I saw you. You look like you were loving it.
I love this movie.
Yes, I love it so much, honestly.
Before we say anything, this guy's is gonna shock the shit out of you. Do you guys know how much the budget was?
How much?
How much?
$15 million.
I
Holy
heard it was. I
it
heard
was like
it was
a little
cheap.
more than $15 million. And I don't know
Props
if
to
that.
the directors and
Right.
everybody who
Yeah,
worked on
yes.
this film.
I have
Holy
him down
shit.
specifically. So Takashi Yamakaze, all the props. I believe he was the director and producer and everything. He made this movie. Great job. You did it. You
Such a
did a
good
terrific
Amazing.
job.
Yes.
Not the best movie of this year. Cross the Spider-Verse is still better. I think Mutant Mayhem's a little better. I think Talk
Yeah.
to Me's better.
Okay.
I think Air is a little bit better. But right there is where I put Godzilla.
This is my
-1.
second favorite movie of the series.
Really?
I'd
Yes,
have to
I
say
put
the
this
same.
above Oppenheimer.
Hell yeah, I liked it a little bit more than I think
Mm-hmm.
it's a little bit. I might put Oppenheimer above it in a little bit, but right now I think I like Godzilla a little bit better. But this movie was great.
Yeah, I almost gave it a 10 out of 10.
Right?
Yeah, but if it kept up like the whole first half of this movie, or like the first act of this movie, if it stayed like that, I would have given it 10 out of 10. There was some issues later on in the film, but it was still great.
I want to start with all the positives, of course.
Okay.
So let's hear it from our guest first. What did you like about this movie?
I loved how they went back to the original Godzilla, as you can see on here. They made him like the first act of the movie, the first scene of the movie. I loved it so much.
The
How they
island opening was
yes,
excellent.
how they made Godzilla look like a dinosaur and like just like smaller than he usually is in the legendary movies. It was beautiful. His calls, his roars, everything. The way he moved, I loved it all.
He looked
Yeah.
great. I like how he had
Yes.
the spikes on the back that were
Yes,
awesome
that was
and just
wonderful.
oh, like he just like looked like you could tell it was like an old like ancient
Yes.
god. Like dude, it looked
yes,
sick.
yes.
dude.
And then like, okay, I'm gonna get on to my only complaint about this
no
movie.
spoilers, by the way. No spoilers.
Oh, we can't spoil.
No spoilers. So we'll do a spoiler free review and then we'll do spoilers.
Okay.
Later
well,
on, yeah.
okay. So you've probably seen it from the trailers then, but Godzilla, like when he's in the water, I love the water physics around him. I love how he interacts with the world around him.
How does he balance so well in the water?
It's he's
That's a question I
He's-
had.
mutated.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's Godzilla.
he's crazy.
It's Godzilla.
It's Godzilla.
But like, I love how just good he looks in this movie. I love that they go back to like him.
It was great.
And I don't know if this was in the trailer, but the way he like charges up his atomic breath with his dorsal fins.
Yeah.
And it just like goes straight back in him, like it's just powering up, and he shoots it, and like
That's so cool.
the explosion that happens after.
Yeah, like
You could feel it. It's so
Yes.
it's huge. It's
There's so
ginormous.
many moments in that movie where, and they didn't overuse it. They did not overuse the atomic breath. And I loved it
that
so much.
that was a very big positive to this. If you're going into this expecting just Godzilla destruction the whole time, you're not really gonna get that. There's like 4. They're good. They're really good. They slowly get better, but there's only like 3 or 4 major Godzilla scenes, and they are used very sparingly. And whenever Godzilla actually does show up, like you feel his presence, like you feel the emotion, like
Yeah.
you feel the devastation for the civilians. And it was really nice. They didn't overuse them. They used him sparingly and perfectly.
All right. So what I loved the most about this film, it was the main character's arc. From he's scared, he doesn't want to be a kamikaze pilot, and then he deals with this guilt throughout his life, and he doesn't want to admit that he's the guy's because he doesn't feel like he. And then,
The spoiler.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. Just keep going.
It's
It's
hard
fine. It's
not
fine.
It's really. I just
You're
want to
good, you're
talk
good.
about everything.
We'll get into spoilers fairly quickly because that's most of what I want to talk about as well.
Yeah, but he deals with all this stuff, and then at the end, he's. I don't want to spoil it. Okay.
Can we
You
jump
really
to the
say-
spoiler review?
Before we do, I wanna. You feel the like from the start of the movie, you feel the emotion of every scene. Like this movie's Japanese as well, so like we watched it Japanese and like the subtitles were a little weird looking, but I was able to read them just fine.
Yeah.
But like I don't know why, but like the subtitles just like they looked a little wonky, but
Yeah.
it was readable. But I was like locked in from the start, from the whole time after the island opening, and was really good. The main character, like you said, I think he has a very good arc. But just from the start, I was so entertained and locked in the whole time. Like a lot of movies that came out this year, like Mario or like Barbie, like I'm uninterested in most scenes, and like I'm like close to like wanting to turn it off. But this
Yeah.
movie, like I was invested the entire time. Like by the time it got to the end, I was like, dang, I didn't want this to end this quickly. I wanted to see a little bit more. But you feel the emotion, you care for the characters, and unlike recent like Godzilla and Kong movies and all like the monster movies, whenever you see like the human stuff going on, like it's unbearable. You just want to see the monsters fight because what like the movies that Warner Brothers, I think, is that who makes Legendary, who makes those movies. They just don't know how to make good human characters at all and not how to make them interesting. They were great in this movie, and like
Yeah.
I wasn't like whenever I was watching the human characters, like I wasn't like stressing to see Godzilla. Like I was enjoying what I was watching with the human characters.
That kind of I kind of want to like go more into that in the spoiler thing because Legendary and Toho they both make good Godzilla movies. Obviously, Toho making better, but it gets me excited for New Hope. Not in a way where it's or not New Hope, a New Empire, the new Godzilla movie.
Godzilla X Kong.
Yeah, it gets me excited for that mostly because like getting off of -1,
Yeah.
Toho making such a good movie. It makes me just want to watch, just like sit back, watch Godzilla again, just for the laughs and stuff, not caring about if it's good or not, the human characters, because I feel like obviously there's gonna be human characters that we don't care about in that movie.
Yeah, I forgot about that movie. I'm excited to watch it now that you bring it up.
Who pissed off Godzilla and Kong enough to make them team up?
It's like this orangutan.
Well, I only saw that one like clip specifically on TikTok and stuff.
But it makes
Go see this movie. It's not probably. I think it's not going to be in theaters for much longer. Hopefully, it makes money. It was really good. Your second favorite movie of this year. Where
Yeah.
does it rank in your
I'd
favorite
have to
movies
say
this year?
second as well.
Really,
It competes for first.
it's my fifth, but I really liked even my top. I'd say like top 7, top 8. I really loved like the top 8. Like
Yeah.
this was a really good year for movies. I just really liked a
Honestly,
lot of
yeah.
the movies that came out this year. It was great. I'm surprised I liked it more than Oppenheimer.
I'm so happy you guys like it.
But yeah, this you spoilers.
Yes, please,
Okay.
please.
So the movie starts out with our main character, Shikishima, I believe, Mr. Shikishima, and he has to take care of this baby. At the start, this woman's rushing down through this town. She hands him a baby, and this is the baby he has to protect for the whole thing. And then the one thing I really liked about his arc is everything with the child and stuff is great and how he's raising it.
Yes.
But like at one point in the movie, he's even like contemplating if he's even alive because like in the intro you see like just how devastating it was, and then like he's like not even like he's questioning if he's even like real or alive after that. And I think I thought the acting was good. It's definitely weird because I'm not used to Japanese acting, but I thought it was pretty good.
phenomenal.
Yeah, it was so the main characters specifically were really good, but just some of the I think it's just because it's a little bit different, but I didn't dislike it at
It
all
reminds
though.
me of Parasite. Just the
Have you
acting,
seen
not-
Parasite?
I think so. Yeah.
I really want to finish that movie.
Yeah, we got like halfway through and got busy and never finished it, but we need to finish it.
I see.
But yeah, please go see this movie. But
Even if you can't see it in theaters, just any way you can see it, just watch this movie.
Well, like I was saying before, I love his character arc with he doesn't want to marry, he doesn't want to because he doesn't feel like he's he doesn't feel worthy. He feels like he's a bad person. He's carrying this burden that he wants to make up for, and then he finally realized his he's been in the end he's been kept alive probably for a reason, and the ejecting, like when you have that moment where it's like a little cliffhanger where he's like, oh, and I want to show you this other feature in the plane, and it cuts away. I immediately knew, oh, that's an eject feature.
Yeah, that's the same.
But like, it just played so well into his character arc. I really loved that scene.
So spoilers for -1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Okay. The one part that let me down in this movie was how they explained how Godzilla got his powers. They showed the bombing in Bikini Atoll, where usually that's where like you would see in a legendary film.
And then you see like the radiation around.
Yeah, you would just see like the
burning up.
bomb drop, Godzilla absorb it in his power, but they only like just
Glimpse it.
Yeah, they
Glimpse
glimpse it.
over it.
It show his eye and a roar, and that's it. That's the only complaint I have about this movie. And that's the one thing I kind of wanted to see, like how he just grows into this huge monster. And like, but other than that, the movie was amazing. I loved every single part of it. There was the character development, the Godzilla itself. It was weird how they made him regenerate after being hurt, which
But it's Godzilla.
It's Godzilla.
No, they said
I know nothing about Godzilla.
I will say Toho did make a movie 2019. It's called Shin Godzilla. It makes me really want to watch that because I didn't get to see it. I really wanted to see it, but I didn't know a way how. But now that like I see this movie, I kind of want to know how they did in that.
it's not echoing, is it?
It is. It's echoing.
That shouldn't have picked up. Don't worry.
Just make sure it's turned down.
Sorry, didn't even notice it.
What were we talking about?
The negatives.
No, definitely not the negatives.
Jeff, there's no negative. Little
yeah.
to any.
I remember.
Well, I had some negatives.
Yeah, if you're this isn't no normal Godzilla. This is super duper like the most powerfulest Godzilla you've ever seen. He's not an anti-hero at all. He's a complete
Villain.
destroying cities. And you were talking about earlier about how he shoots out the power beams and stuff. Not only does he shoots out the beams and stuff, but it's not over after that. After he shoots out the beam, this big gust of just wind and stuff like flows over, and it's like another little explosion.
I will say this is my favorite version of Godzilla's atomic breath. It even beats Shin's.
I think this might be my favorite Godzilla movie, favorite interpretation of Godzilla.
Before this, 2014 Godzilla was my favorite Godzilla film. This beats that.
Hell
100%.
yeah.
This blows it out the water. Like, oh my
really
god,
good.
such a good movie.
So his love interest in this movie was Nokiro, and then you have scenes like when the Godzilla's having the train in his mouth and it's like broken, and then you see her like holding on by the thing. Like you feel tension for that. Like you feel the stakes. You're like, oh shit. And then so you remember I guess she could be traumatized, but you remember when she's like everybody's running away from Godzilla and she's just sitting there looking at him?
I don't know if you noticed, but I was trying to like, why was she just standing there?
Why is she just sitting there looking at him? Like why is she getting up and running?
I had my whole feeling throughout that fight was thinking, oh, she feels like this is her time. Like this is the end for her.
Yeah.
She thinks this is the time for her to die. And that the main character should live on. I didn't expect her to die though. That was very surprising for me, honestly.
Die. She lives at the end. Remember?
You don't remember showing her up?
Yeah, I know. But like the fake out death.
Yeah.
So I didn't expect that.
I don't know why she pushed Mr. Shiri in the hall. Why didn't she just get in the alleyway with him to avoid the wreckage?
But then again, as soon as she pushed him, I don't think she would have had time.
She could have definitely pulled him over there.
Maybe.
But yeah, I know
she
what
was
I
on
did.
like the outside, so she wouldn't be able to push him and get in at the same time, or pull him because she wasn't even.
She
could
have tried.
She could have.
She pushes him and then stands there for like a second, and then
guess
the wind.
so, yeah.
But you know, it's all for a reason.
Yeah.
So what was he looking at in that scene where he is like looks so traumatized?
And like the black rain starts falling down.
Yeah.
What is that? That's like people blood.
No. What that is, I'm pretty sure that's just like you know, aftermath after like atomic bombs, where it's like just the radiation and stuff. I'm pretty sure that's just that, but in like liquid form.
Yeah. I think it's just all like the debris coming up into the atmosphere and probably.
And
just,
also,
like,
if you
down.
notice at the end of the movie when she's in the hospital, there's a little black like vein goes on her.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's supposed to lead up into like Godzilla's like controlling people, something like that. Cause
They
like,
do set up a sequel.
they
sort
do
of, at the end.
kind of a little bit. It's hard to tell if they do, but there is this one Godzilla villain where it's like plant matter. Its name is Biolante, I think it's like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like just made of pretty sure if I'm correct on this, made of like a bunch of like souls from things that or people that Godzilla has killed to fight back against Godzilla. And if Toho is doing something like that, God, I hope so, because that would be a wonderful thing. Just like all of Godzilla's victims like against Godzilla, and it would turn Godzilla from this villain to an anti-hero of some sorts. And I hope I'm not wrong about this, but if that's where they're going, Toho is. I love the studio, man.
I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to any Godzilla stuff now,
Yeah.
especially if it's made from these people. So these people make a plan to take down Godzilla, and they aren't sold at first, but then this scientist guy who's a really developed character ends up showing like
Favorite
this
character,
this inflated. What is the plan to take down Godzilla?
Plan to take down Godzilla is to basically use these bubble machines to create this bubble field around Godzilla, which will sink him. And basically the pressure of being dropped that quickly into the ocean will crush him. And it works to some extent.
So they aren't really sold at first, but then Mr. I forgot the guy with the white haired name and the glasses, but he shows the plan B, which is the inflatable things. And the main character, he's, getting everything with the plane and ready, and then he finds help from Mr. Tachibana, I believe, because he is the plane expert guy. He's
engineer.
engineer.
That was on the Odo Island.
He finds help for him to take down Godzilla, and he's willing to sacrifice himself to, even though he has people the babysitter. I don't remember how the babysitter's related, but there's the babysitter and of course his daughter, and it's just like you're like damn, man, just stay home with your kids, dude. You don't have to go to war,
exactly.
You really care for these characters.
He's just all focused on this burden of his.
And just them talking about the plan to kill Godzilla, it was good. The build up and tension was good. They're just talking about the plan to kill Godzilla, and you're getting hype.
And I will say it was the first time where it's an actually scientific plan of killing Godzilla, and not just let's nuke him or let's shoot some advanced weapon at him. It was actually in science, in real life, which I thought was really good.
One thing I wanted to point out, someone does say it's Godzilla, but nobody ever says it's Godzilla. Nobody ever screams.
But
it,
that's just I'm pretty sure
it's
that's
a trope.
a joke.
It's a trope. Yeah, it's a joke.
I doubt it's meant to be a staple.
But yeah, the third act with the main character flying around on that plane is just sick, man. It's like some Top Gun Maverick. You really want the plan to work, and then you're a little bit, oh shit, when plan A doesn't work. But of course, plan B comes out with the boats and everything. And
plan B doesn't work.
Then he has to fly the jet into the Godzilla's mouth with a very powerful bomb. And then he unfortunately dies and then blows up Godzilla's face. And just kidding, of course, he ejects just on time with the eject thing you were talking about earlier.
Before we go further, sorry to cut you off,
you're good.
but the moment where it was plan B, Godzilla rising up and charging up his breath, and they all are staring at Godzilla.
Yeah, and there's no sound.
The sound just cuts for a whole minute almost, and then you just hear the brrr of the plane, and that moment was so
peak
powerful
cinema.
for
Peak
me.
cinema.
Yeah, that was
and
wonderful.
it's so good in theaters.
Yeah.
See this in theaters. See this in theaters. Oh my God, see this in theaters.
If you can still watch it in theaters.
The sound experience is crazy.
Yes.
You hear the Godzilla footsteps. You hear the rumbling. We whenever we have to do the bathroom break, one of us, records, and even when I was just in the bathroom, I could hear boom coming from the theater.
Oh my God, I was in the bathroom and I was peeing, and then suddenly, boom, and then the whole bathroom shook. I actually scared. I'm serious. It scared me for a second. I was like, oh shit,
Godzilla's real?
Is Godzilla here?
No, but yeah, watch this movie in theaters if you still can. I can't keep praising this enough, but I want to. There's so much good about it.
Great movie.
It's so little
Great
wrong
movie.
about it.
I will say, at the end when it was revealed that the
Nokiro is alive.
Nokiro is alive, I thought that was a little wow, that's very lucky, you know.
You know,
haven't
it's
called
not
BS.
realistic,
This
but
is
you're giving him a happy
came
end.
out-
He
came out of
sacrificed
nowhere.
his life. I'm glad he got the happy ending.
Yeah.
But with the like,
It was like he's getting rewarded now,
yeah, I
you know.
guess so. Yeah, but
Because-
Exactly.
the way they showed her die, there's no way someone could survive that in real life. No.
Yeah.
She's alive somehow, but I just thought it was a beautifully happy ending.
I thought because you see that scene after she gets blown away, it's just that focus at him and he's like shocked. I thought he saw her like mangled corpse or
Notice
something.
it blows backward and then back forward. So really, no one could survive that in real life. I don't. At least I don't think so.
And if
With
you're
that
in an
much, like-
alleyway, you can apparently.
Apparently, but I mean, like that much wind, like force blowing at you forward and then sucking you back. There's no way.
Yeah.
I called BS
Your
when
thing's
she
still
came.
recording, right?
Yeah, still.
Alright.
But no, I called BS when she came back. But I'm glad he got the happy ending. In the end.
And of course, the sequel is sort of teased at the end with you see they obviously blow up Godzilla at the end, and his face
Yeah.
just crumbles down, and there's
Yeah.
like beams shooting everywhere. Looks really sick. And then at the very last scene, you start to see like his body start regenerating, reforming, regrowing, and it looks sick underwater. And they do kind of set up a sequel, so I am interested to see a sequel.
Yeah, I'm interested, but like after all that, after all they went through, I just felt kind of annoying to see that Godzilla was still alive or like
Yeah, no,
regenerating.
I
But
do have
then
to
again,
agree.
you can't really kill off Godzilla.
Yeah, it's
well, I
Godzilla.
don't know because this is my first experience of Godzilla,
That is fair.
God's in the name.
and I loved it.
God's in the name.
That's probably gonna get me into Godzilla stuff.
Yeah, no.
But I also loved the time period where this was set. I thought it was a really good idea.
Yeah,
Post,
it's
right after World War II, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's so.
I going into this, I thought it was gonna be like a modern day thing
no. See, the
because
thing
I didn't
is-
watch trailers or anything.
Yeah, for the original Godzilla, the whole point of that movie was pretty much to shun the people of Japan for not just shun the world for using atomic bombs and radiation in the war.
Mhm.
So it's like pretty much a metaphor for like
Yeah.
post-war stuff and stuff
Right.
like that. And I love it. The connections to the original
Mm-hmm.
Godzilla series is oh my god, love it so much.
There's
yeah.
stuff there for OG Godzilla fans. Like,
Yes.
if you're a Godzilla fanboy, you're going to love this movie.
If
You're
you've
gonna
never
love it.
seen the legendary movies, though, be kind of wary because they're nothing as good as this. Nothing as good as this. I will say the original 2014 Legendary Godzilla, that's really good. But after that, it just kind of slows down.
Wow, when you announced the budget, that was so
That
crazy because
surprised me.
it's like half as much as the FNAF movie, and it was so much more like grand scaled.
Right?
And,
And
the Marvels had
it's
like a
just so much more
budget
creative.
of like I think over 200 million,
And
and
it
it,
Oh my god!
that's
yeah.
just like it's just
But it
what are they
shows
doing with that money?
Where you actually put in the money and to the scenes where you want to show off.
If
good
you just
things.
make a good movie, then it can be good. You know,
Exactly.
It's
yeah,
just-
and
it's
Godzilla was
ridiculous.
kind of stiff, but like he looked good.
Because it's
He
a
looked
dinosaur.
great.
Because it's
yeah.
a dinosaur, you know, they don't have perfect music. Like I
Yeah.
think it is kind of weird how he's like this, but you know, it's a dinosaur. He can't really move. So
But they did the same thing. The original Godzilla, Shin
yeah,
Godzilla.
exactly.
2,
No, it
both
stayed true.
Toho
It stayed
stuff.
true to everything.
Stayed true, and I love that about
You
it.
feel the emotion in the scenes. You love these characters. The Godzilla action's good. You get a
Mhm.
perfect amount of it. You get great character stuff. We all love this movie.
Perfect.
Yeah, great main character you could sympathize with and just like feel his pain and feel his frustration with himself and everything.
Do we have any main negatives?
Me, I already said.
Yeah, like you
mine.
said.
Yeah, I said
the
mine
origin story.
too.
What was yours?
With
Oh,
the ending of
mhm.
the love interest.
You have any
This-
negatives?
I don't think I particularly had any issues. I really liked it. It just didn't blow me away to the point where I want to give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, that's
Like Across the Spider-Verse, I was like entertained the whole time throughout both movies, but you know, Across the Spider-Verse, you know, I think
that
that
ending for you didn't.
yeah, I know. I didn't how did you feel at the end of Across the Spider-Verse?
I thought it was good. It
You
was a
liked
good
the
setup.
Exactly. I was completely fine with it.
Yeah,
a lot of
I
people have
see
issues
nothing
with
wrong
it.
I think it's a good setup. I know
Mhm.
it drags, but still, like the tension between the two Miles. That's
Like
really
I
good.
don't dislike anything it does. I just think like you said it drags a little bit, and it's like the conclusion, they're obviously saving Spot for the next movie, and the conclusion of the movie was Miles taking down everybody in the Spider Society.
Yeah.
But right after that there's like 30-40 more minutes of the movie, and it's just setting up all this really really awesome shit, and you're about to get something more, and then it just kind of ends, and like I was just like I would give it, I think, like I don't hate the ending, but like it's my favorite movie of all time, but I still give it a 9.5 out of 10. It's just an incomplete story. I'm sure when Beyond comes out, I'll see how it plays out, and I'm sure I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. But the story is just incomplete, so therefore I don't want to give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
But it just really felt like they're setting, like, it's just all this cool shit happening. Like, you're seeing Spider-Ham and Noir come back, the alternate Miles, him being in a different universe. You're getting like all that, because one thing me and Ryan have talked about this. I want to see more Spider-Man villains and Beyond the Spider-Verse. Like, I want to see Sandman, Scorp. Like, I want to see a bunch of Spider-Man. Like, I want to see Kraven, Venom. I want to see a bunch of Spider-Man.
I don't think that's a good idea. They already have 3 villains. Adding more would just be too much to focus.
Well,
on.
I mean, I don't think they should like focus on any other major villains, but like in any way they can do it. I want, like, how they did it
with the Vulture.
Yeah,
at
like,
the beginning.
Yeah, like how they did
Vulture.
with the
Oh, yeah,
Vulture.
references, yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the Prowler, live action Prowler,
That
like
was
caged
good.
up, just shit like that. Like, I love Spider-Man villains.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I just, incomplete story. So I just felt like at the end of it, I was just like a little but it doesn't. I don't hate the ending enough for it to ruin the entire movie for me.
That's what you got to expect for like 2-part movies. Can't really expect a very good ending.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
it's
like-
not an ending.
But and for Infinity War,
Sorry.
and no, you're good. We're touching toes.
Ooh.
In Infinity War, you get there's still like there's obviously Infinity War Part 2, which was eventually changed. The end game was announced, but like Infinity War, it's getting a 2-parter, but it still has an ending. Thanos completed
Wins.
his arc, but in Across the Spider-Verse, there like really isn't kind of like that. Like Empire Strikes Back, the twist of the cliffhanger is Luke's Darth Vader's son. And then Vader wins. Like that's the ending in that movie. Vader won, and like this movie, like nobody really wins. It just kind of cuts off.
Mhm.
Fair.
And I didn't feel left off. But I'm not gonna fault you guys for liking something about my favorite movie of all time. Of course, like I don't mind at all.
That's fair. That's fair.
You want to do some MCU blind rankings? MCU movie blind rankings? Or is there anything else about Godzilla you have to say?
I think we said it all. No.
Watch it. Let's
Watch it.
Yeah, just watch it in theaters if you still can.
Fantastic movie.
Wonderful movie.
So, MCU blind. Let me give you a piece of paper. I'll let you. You got a pen?
I do not.
One of us got a pen. I got one right here.
Perfect.
Sorry, if
So-
you hear me just, that means I'm just checking the audio.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we're gonna give you 10 different MCU movies, and you're gonna blind. You know how blind ranking works.
I do, yes.
All right, you want to go first, Ryan?
The Marvels. Oh, you
He
never
hasn't
seen
seen
it.
the
it.
Marvels yet.
Never mind. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man and the... I have to put that 8.
8.
Mm.
That's fine, but that I think that I maybe we'll go for like a 7, but 8's fine.
I think it's good.
Go
Go ahead.
Thor Ragnarok.
Ooh.
7.
7?
Why so low?
I feel like there's gonna be better.
Okay,
I
but
put
do you
it-
like Ragnarok?
Actually, I put it 6.
6.
Ragnarok's my 3rd favorite MCU movie.
Yeah, Ragnarok's
I put
great.
that at 3.
What's your take on Ragnarok?
I thought it was a fun movie.
Your favorite Thor movie?
Definitely.
My turn or your turn?
My turn. Captain America, the first Avenger.
I'm gonna put that at 3. 'Cause I feel like
Really?
there might be better ones.
You really
That's
liked it.
high. First Avenger's a good movie.
Yeah,
Fun, not perfect by any means, but it's fun.
it only gets better.
Mm-hmm. I want to give you Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Put that at
7. Good. I don't think that movie's that great. Your turn.
Ant-Man, the first
First one?
Ant-Man. Yes.
It's gonna go in 4.
Perfect.
Okay, that's good.
I like that.
hmm
Multiverse of Madness. The worst movie in the MCU.
Ooh.
Have to put that in 9.
Okay,
Good.
good.
9.
Because
Glad.
I was scared he was gonna put it in 5.
Thank God, no, that movie's a disaster.
All right, your turn.
Your turn.
Okay, my turn. Guardians Volume 3.
Well, I want to put it at 1 because it might be across the fight.
You really liked Volume 3.
did.
I was really looking at that was like one of my most anticipated movies of all time. You remember when I first saw it, I hated the movie, but I have seen it twice. I've seen it like 3 times now. Very good.
I'm gonna have to put it
At 3?
at 1.
Oh,
sorry.
1. Dang. It's wild, but it's fun.
That's fair.
I want to give you a good one. Iron Man 2.
Dang.
Ooh, decision.
Decisions.
It's
You an
not
Iron Man 2 guy?
It's not where 10 is.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not the bottom. I think it's way better than some of the bad movies
I
I've
have
seen.
to put it 5.
5? That's fair. I'm not mad at that. Your turn.
Eternals.
10, yeah.
Hmm.
Obviously, I'm a defender of that movie, but you guys aren't big on it at all.
Spelled it wrong.
It doesn't matter.
Number 2
No
is your only
one's seen-
spot left? Civil War. I'll make Civil War go in your number 2 because I know you don't like that movie. Civil War is great, man. Yeah, I can't wait for you to give that movie another try because you're so wrong. So if you could rearrange the list, how would you do it?
I'd put Captain America 2. I'd put Ant-Man, the first one, 3. I'd put probably Ragnarok 4.
Mm-hmm.
I would. Iron Man 2 would stay 5. Or, yeah, Iron Man 2 is. No. Yeah, Iron Man 2 is to be 5. Homecoming. No. Ant-Man Wasp 6. Homecoming 7. Mom 8. Civil War 9. Eternals 10.
Why,
Jesus Christ. He
Well,
puts
what
Civil War
does
below.
Multiverse of Madness do better than
Multiverse.
Civil War? The CGI in Multiverse of Madness is ass. The biggest threat to the multiverse is you, Steven. Like, there's no good dialogue in that movie, and you're invested in the dialogue in Civil War. There's no good action in that movie. You can't name a single memorable fight scene except for the Illuminati shit, which is mostly hated. And it's a very quick fight scene. It's one of the only interesting things that happen in that movie. And Doctor Strange gets his ass kicked in it. They call it Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, but he goes to like 2 other different universes. Like just for the false title alone, it goes down a few points. Like, that's ridiculous. You have Civil War that low.
Civil War.
So crazy.
And I thought the Taj Mahal versus Wanda was.
It was a CGI disaster. Did you like when Wanda stormed? Did you like when Wanda 1v100s all those people at the start? Like, I thought
It
it
just
was.
shows how OP she is.
Yeah,
I
it
didn't like a
shows how
single
OP
moment
it
of
is,
that
but
movie.
I don't like it's like not good. Like, I didn't find it throwing the pen around.
Stab you
Like-
for your response.
I don't think Sam Raimi's filmmaking mixes with like the Marvel formula. I don't think it mixes with that Marvel formula at all. Like he tries to go for that horror wacky stuff, and then you also gotta have the Marvel structure in there. You like the ice cream song? The ice cream song alone should just like bring that to the bottom of the list. That is ridiculous.
Do you like
the
it?
ice cream song?
I don't even remember what you're talking about.
The kids singing the ice
Wanda's
cream.
kids singing the ice cream song. See, you don't even remember shit from that movie. It should be at the bottom. That movie sucks. All right, you ready for some agree or disagree?
Yes.
Okay.
God.
So
Time to get flamed.
I'll say something, count down 3, 2, 1, and then you guys say agree or disagree. I guess do it one at a time so you don't talk over each other. But Willy's Wonderland was better than the FNAF movie. 3, 2, 1.
Agree.
Agree.
Glad we all agree.
Yes.
Way funner.
Willy's
I guess
Wonderland.
definitely better gore.
I
Better
gotta get a
Yeah.
poster
gore a
of
little
Willy's
bit.
Wonderland.
Nick
We
Cage
do.
did wonderful, even though he said he
Yeah.
didn't say a word.
Like I said earlier, I
Even
don't
though they
think
couldn't
they had
afford it.
they don't have enough money to
Yeah.
to pay him to speak. But Willy's Wonderland is one of those movies that is just so wacky and ridiculous and dumb.
I think it's what
just
the
really
FNAF
good.
movie should have been.
It's definitely not as
Nah,
wacky,
definitely
but
not.
it shouldn't have been worse than Willy's Wonderland. And this leads into the next one. The FNAF movie was a disappointment. 3, 2, 1.
Agree.
Sadly agree.
Sadly agree. Yes.
Sadly.
Mhm.
Is Talk to Me a top 5 horror movie? 3, 2, 1.
Agree.
Disagree.
Disagree. It's
Disagree.
easily in my. It
For
might
me,
be 4.
because I haven't watched too many horror movies, but I love talking.
What was your take on Talk to Me?
It was fine, like for gore wise, it was fine, but I feel like it was more of a psychological movie, psychological horror rather than a.
Yeah, it was easily my third favorite. Yeah, third favorite movie of this year. I just absolutely adored it. It just felt so like I've never seen something like that before. Like it felt so different. It felt so special. Like there was no stupid slasher or big stupid like something like Terrifier where it's just stupid shit happening.
For me, it's just I probably didn't like it mostly because I've seen so many. Oh, this item's cursed and it kills people.
But I feel like they do it. But like they go on.
It wasn't like the demonic stuff that you're used to, where it's like, oh, there's this demonic energy is now possessing the family or whatever.
And there's no cringy library
like that,
scene when they're in the library researching like the backstory of the hand. Like it is just there to be an allegory for drugs. And I just thought, oh my god, I just thought it was so good. It slowly builds up to the one scene, you know what I'm talking about. The slow build up to that, and then it happens, and then it sticks with you the whole movie, and then it gets even worse and more sick and twisted at the end. I just thought it was so unique. It felt so different, like nothing I've ever seen before. I don't think it was like scary, like I was getting scared and stuff, but like I just thought it was so good.
Yeah.
It's especially because most horror movies are bad. Horror is my favorite genre, but like if people like I'm sure most people can admit horror movies are bad. Most horror movies are really shit. Like a lot of the Nightmare on Elm Street.
It's very easy to do, so a lot of people just do that for
And Talk
money.
to Me doesn't rely on jump scares. It doesn't overdo the gore at all. There's like barely any jump scares in that movie because it doesn't need any.
Yeah.
Like I just thought, oh, I loved it.
I'll be honest, I was kind of desensitized to this, mostly because I've seen 2 horror movies prior, which was The Nun 2 and Exorcist Believer, which were both horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible
Talk to Me
movies.
way better.
It was way better. It was way better, but it's still not a top.
You didn't
5
love
horror.
Talk to Me, but you liked it.
It was enjoyable. I will say.
You know, I just
It had
loved
good
it
gore
so
scenes,
much.
and that's. I'd say Barbarian. I will stick to
I haven't seen Barbarian.
You
Barbarians.
haven't? I thought you watched it with us.
I fell asleep when you guys were.
Oh
watching
yeah,
that.
bro, it was not good. I did not like that. I like some concepts. I like the tunnel stuff. That was very like, that's a good
Let me
horror
guess. There's a
environment.
big stupid monster that eats people or something.
Yeah.
That, like that's the,
But
that's
like,
what
when
I
they
feel
go
like's
up
been
on the street, it's just kind of weird. It's just I don't know.
Like,
I don't
I f-
remember much. But
like shit like Smile, and I'm assuming that, and then just like I'm sure there's like Krampus and stuff. I didn't hate Krampus, but all this shit was just a big scary demon monster. Like that shit's just so overdone. It's not scary. It's not good. Like Terrifier. We don't like the Terrifier movies. Do you like the Terrifier movies?
The first one's really good. The second one, I can see where you're coming from.
I rewatched the first one the other day. So not the other day, but like around like right after October because Halloween time. Yeah, I did. That movie is like like a 3 or 4 out of 10. I really did not like the first one at all upon rewatch. It was just, you could tell it was on a low budget, and like it was like the dude's first movie, so it was fine. But I just didn't like. There's like no like the main thing about those movies is the gore, and like this, and like Talk to Me. The setup and build up is really interesting and entertaining, and it's building up these characters. And Terrifier, it's just these 2 girls that have basically no personality, and it's just Terrifier sitting in a diner just looking at him creepily for like the first hour and stuff. And then he gets into the kills, and it's pretty entertaining and stuff. Way better than the second one. I just think the second one gets too wacky.
It definitely.
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is a bottom 3 MCU movie. 3, 2, 1.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Terrible. What's your take on Quantumania?
It was fine up to a certain point. I feel like as soon as they reveal who MODOK was, and probably even earlier than that, actually, I think just I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain that movie. It's just so all over the place.
It's like a fun comic book movie. It's like you're flipping through comic book pages, wacky shit happening, but for some reason, a bunch of ants and Ant-Man are able to take down Kang. That movie. I know Ryan really hated that movie. You did not like Quantumania at all.
I hate the quantum realms. Very stupid. It makes no sense, and then it's just super boring.
The Flash was fun. 3, 2, 1.
Agree.
Disagree.
Yeah, of course you disagree. I just thought, like, same thing with Quantumania. Flash is a fun comic book movie. I think it had good Flash action. Obviously, the CGI was bad, but there was very strong highlights to the movie, like everything with the mother. Like we talked about before, the time dome was a very cool concept. It's just, the CGI just like doesn't help it at all. I think the real issues with the Flash is there's no main villain. And besides Batman and Spider-Man, Flash probably has the best villains. Like he has Gorilla Grodd and some other really good ones. And they just forgot to put a real villain in this movie for some reason. So that was definitely a weak point. And obviously the CGI was really bad, but thought the action was fine. It was a fun watch. Like I wasn't bored at all.
Yeah, for me, that whole movie just boils down to great concept, horrible execution.
No, that's fair. That's a decent take. You like the Flash?
Yeah, it was fun. It had some great scenes with the mother and everything.
Elementals was good. 3, 2, 1.
Agree.
Disagree.
You didn't think
come on,
Elementals
man.
was good?
It had
this
its
movie's
moments sometimes, but just so much to remember and so much to follow and too many characters.
Really?
I mean, it was just
Too many characters.
It only focuses on like 2.
Yeah.
Like every other character just gets like the little rock kid gets one scene. Most of the parents only get like a few scenes.
I don't know. Like we're still doing our Marvel rewatch, so it's one of those things where probably if I rewatch it, it'll be better. But I'm pretty sure I watched it twice now. It's like I just didn't get better the second time.
I didn't really want to watch it, and then I let Ryan pick what movie we were watching. He wanted to do Elementals. All right, let's do Elementals. It blew me away. Not blew me away, but like I think it was like a good 8 out of 10 movie. I thought the love relationship between Ember and Wade was really strong. Not gonna like almost brought me to like tears by the end. I thought they did it really
cute.
I thought it was so cute. I thought it was good. The animation was spectacular. I love the animation. I thought the pacing was pretty good. I thought the dialogue was pretty good. And I just like when love stories are done right. And I think they do a good love story in that movie.
I wouldn't say this movie's an 8. I'd say like 5 or 6. At least.
Definitely not a 5.
No,
Definitely
like a
not
7.
5.
A 7.
No, I just really liked it.
Universe was kind of weird, but I loved how it was an allegory for like immigrants to like America or wherever.
It was good. And people
Yeah.
disliked it for that for some reason, which was so stupid. Elementals was great. Go watch it if you haven't
It was
seen
telling like the director's like personal stories.
Mutant Mayhem had better animation than Across the Spider-Verse. 3, 2, 1.
Disagree.
Yeah, I disagree.
100%
I love the
disagree.
animation in Mutant Mayhem, but Across the Spider-Verse is probably
You
the best
already know
animated
my
movie of all
thoughts
time.
on, Mutant Mayhem's animation.
Yeah, he does. You don't.
Oh, wait, you don't
the-
like the animation
they-
in Mutant Mayhem?
No, he doesn't like how they look like clay and
I
everything.
don't like
remember?
how they look like Play-Doh.
They don't really look like. I like it. Looks like a comic. It looks like they're taken out of a comic. Look.
Yeah, I just
It looks like they're ripped straight. I love it's so like I love how they're kids, like actual kids. I thought, oh man, I loved it.
I love all the turtle designs
like-
and like Splinter and everybody, but I do think the humans look a little too weird, a little too wacky.
But like that's because when you're a teenager and you're drawing pictures and you just gotta draw like background characters, you draw them like shit. And it's because they made it. Everything was teenager vibe in this movie. It looked like teenagers drew it with the scribbles and everything. The wacky human faces. I just loved it.
I guess
really
I'm just
liked it.
old then.
Yeah, you're old. You don't like happy fun things.
I'm
no.
just the Grinch.
We all love Mutant Man though. Invincible is a perfect 10 out of 10 show. 3, 2, 1.
Agree.
I agree.
Really? I give it like an 8.5. I really love the show, of course. I think the last episode is a perfect 10 out of 10, but there's like some boring scenes. Like I don't care a lot for the 2 blue people just having their side plot throughout the whole show, it's somewhat
No,
important.
you're
willing
no,
to
you're
die
right.
for
You're
this
right.
rating,
I,
Jay?
Huh?
You willing to die?
I'm willing
for
to
this
die.
rating?
I don't like anything with the robot person. I want to care for the Guardians of the Globe so bad, but every episode I just dislike them less and less.
I changed my mind. I agree with you. Yeah.
You think it's a flawless show? I mean, Invincible's great. I'm not gonna fault you. I love Invincible.
Invincibles are-
I'd say it's a 9 out of 10, not an 8 out of 10. But yeah, Guardians of the Globe are not strong. There's some scenes in the first season, like when they're doing all that, when they're fighting those aliens, not really too important to the actual plot,
It's just Barbie was the worst movie of 2023. 3, 2, 1.
Disagree.
I agree. What do you think the worst movie was? What do you think the worst movie was?
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantum.
No, Barbie
did-
was so much worse.
Exorcist believer.
I haven't seen that, so that might be the worst one. Barbie, Ant-Man and the Wasp had Kang, which was kind of cool. It had some cool visuals. It had Paul Rudd in it. Paul Rudd's better than anything that Barbie movie had in it.
That's fair. But then again, Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, but
Ryan Gosling was great.
Screw
Right.
Ryan Gosling.
Oh my god, bro, that movie was so. It's like it's so disrespectful to the Kens, bro.
Yeah, it's just it's disrespectful.
And of
to
course, Margot
everything.
Robbie.
Yeah, but
So what?
so what?
Good looking woman.
Good looking woman, bad movie.
Good looking
but
man.
Exorcist
Good looking
believable.
woman.
Are you excited for Terrifier 3? 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Yeah,
Agree. Yes.
even though me and you aren't big fans of the first two Terrifier movies, I'm looking forward
Oh
to
no,
the
I
third
liked
one.
the Terrifier. I've liked the first Terrifier.
You liked the
movie. I
first
thought it
one?
was really fun.
That's
Yes.
fair.
The second one I hated.
The South Park specials are fantastic and some of the best South Park content that come out in recent years.
Agree.
3, 2, 1. Agree.
Mm.
I think the
Agree.
COVID specials are some of the best stuff they've done in general. I love the COVID specials. Cocaine Bear was amazing. 3, 2, 1.
Disagree.
It was fun as hell.
It
But
was
it wasn't
fun.
amazing.
But it had a lot of issues.
It was
I liked
like-
it. It was really fun.
It was
though.
like the Meg movies. They're not supposed to be good. They're just supposed to be put on
Just
just
supposed to
to
be
have
fun.
a laugh.
Mhm.
But Cocaine Bears.
Do those Meg movies take it like more seriously though?
You can tell. You
They
can
don't.
tell. But it's just funny. It's just so funny.
Mm-hmm.
You're close to your imagination.
Well, yeah, no, it's just a movie. Just put on for fun. Have a quick laugh.
Right.
Loki season 2. I meant Loki, just the whole show in general. Loki is a top 5 MCU project. 3, 2, 1.
Agree.
Agree. I might have to say I love Loki, but my 6 and 7 is like No Way Home and might be Guardians. I can't remember my 7. It might be Guardians, but I don't know. It's like on par. I might like it better than the first Guardians, but like No Way Home is where I start to like get on the edge, and I don't think I
Yeah.
like it better than The Winter Soldier. But Loki was fantastic. What was your take on Loki?
Oh, Loki is such a good show. From season 1, episode 1 to season 2, episode what was it, 7?
There's 6 episodes.
Yeah,
both
6.
seasons.
So good the whole way through. Watching it as they released was also amazing.
You watched it weekly as it released?
did.
Yeah, me and Ryan didn't. Since he didn't want to watch them, we just waited for all of them to come out and we binged it. And I don't know. I remember when I first watched a lot of these MCU shows, I watched them week to week and I didn't like them. But now rewatching them to Ryan, where I can just binge them and it's kind of like a movie, I like them significantly better.
Yeah.
But you still like Loki because Loki's
Love
great, so it
Loki.
doesn't matter how you
Such
watch
a
it.
good show. Tom Hiddleston does such a
Great.
good job.
I'm
It's
so
sad to see
I'm
him
so
go.
excited to watch more shows now.
Sad to see him go.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my god. I love
Aquaman.
Loki.
Aquaman is good. 3, 2, 1.
Agree.
Agree. Aquaman's one of the better DCU movies.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
It
It's
doesn't-
not the best.
Suicide
Suicide
Squad is
Squad's better.
definitely better. I like Zack Snyder's Justice League a little bit better. I like Birds of Prey a little bit better.
Until rewatch, honestly, I liked Aquaman better than the Suicide Squad.
That's
Until
good.
rewatch.
Yeah, you got to rewatch the Suicide Squad.
I was half
Suicide
asleep
Squad
watching
is-
that movie.
I
I was actually
remember.
falling asleep. I'm sorry.
God.
Not because it was bad, because it was like 3 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, that's
Okay, next question. This is more targeted towards you because you haven't played these games, but every Arkham game except for Arkham Knight is better than the first Spider-Man one. 3, 2, 1.
disagree.
You obviously disagree. So you obviously like Arkham Knight, but I think Asylum, Origin, City all clearly better. I don't think Spider-Man 1 is even on the same level of those games at all. And I really love Spider-Man 1.
You mean Spider-Man PS4? right?
Spider-Man PS4, my bad.
Spider-Man PS4.
How do you feel about the boss fights in Spider-Man? Besides the auto one at the end, which is good, but how do you feel about the Rhino, Scorpion, Vulture, Electro boss fight?
I thought they were not bad.
You like how you just literally web them up and throw. It's literally the same boss fight every time. You web them up and throw them. That's my thing with the Spider-Man games. The second one does the same thing too. You do the same thing the entire game. You just fight a group of enemies, but with the Arkham games, like for example, Arkham Asylum, you start out with the Predator missions, and then the next mission they have goggles so they can detect you if you're on the gargoyles, and then next mission there's bombs on the gargoyles, so if you're on them for too long, like the Arkham missions get better and they progress and they give you a more challenge each time. Is the where Spider-Man you just get more gadgets and it slowly just gets easier throughout the thing, and the Arkham boss fights are infinitely better than the Spider-Man ones. Arkham boss fights are all different and unique and memorable, and all the Spider-Man ones, you just web up the enemy and throw shit at them.
I think we played the games differently because some of them were, yes, you just web them up in, but a lot of them were you actually have to think about where it's gonna be, and especially on the harder difficulties, like
The Rhino one, you just web him up and throw down the crane on him. The Vulture one, you just web him up and throw his wings at him. The Electro one, you just web him up. The Mr. Negative one, you just I like the Mr. Negative fight. I'll give you that one. This Mr. Negative fight's good. I like the auto fight at the end, but you like of course the emotion and the cutscenes and stuff carry that scene, but like you kind of just do the same attack the whole time. The spider bot, you know the upgrade I'm talking about. The spider bot does almost like all the work for you, but then like by the time you get to the end of Spider-Man, everything's so easy. You're clearing through enemies, but by the end of the Arkham games, like it's more of a challenge and it's getting harder. But
yes,
yeah, I just thought I don't think they can compete, and I don't like. I think Spider-Man 1 is way better than Arkham Knight because I don't like Arkham Knight.
fair.
The Batman is a better representation of Batman than the Dark Knight. 3, 2, 1.
Agree.
Get closer.
I don't know.
I
don't know, honestly.
I'd have to.
I can't really say this because
Yeah.
I'm not.
I'd probably have to. I think Christian Bale. He doesn't really have that detective aspect at all. Robert Pattinson does have the detectives.
But you
thing.
gotta think the Batman is like a refresh for Batman, while the Dark Knight is like
he's
it's
not.
if Batman was already Batman.
And the Batman, he's not really Bruce Wayne at all. He's kind of just all Batman with how emo and depressed is. But the Dark Knight doesn't get Batman really right at all. He's not a good detective, and Christopher Nolan does it. He makes good movies, but he doesn't really do Batman too well in them. But I still love them, of course. But the Batman, I really like the detective aspect of that movie, and that's like one of the main things about Batman. I thought it nailed that.
I think the Riddler was really good.
Yeah, no, Riddler was a really good villain,
my
even
God,
though he was
loved
kind
him.
of an incel, but I really liked him. Iron Man was right in Civil War. 3, 2, 1.
I was Team Iron Man, so I have to agree.
Your team again?
Disagree.
Your team, Cap?
Yeah.
So I think after the shit happens with Crossbones and they blow up the thing, and then even after the New York battle and after the thing in Sokovia, I feel like they do kind of have to have like some restraint or consequences, or like have to be kept in check somehow.
Yeah.
Because a lot of shit
Yeah. I agree with you, but I'm on Team Cap until Bucky's name is cleared. You know?
That's a fair point.
I like how they give him that reason, that extra reason for doing.
You
what
didn't
he's
like
doing.
that scene where
What
Tony
what
Stark's
scene?
being showed his parents' death? That shit is so impactful, dude.
You killed my parents. Now I hate you.
Bro,
So-
that's not what they said.
So,
was so
if you
good.
saw if you saw the dude who killed your parents is standing right there, like you're not gonna find him. That's why Zemo is in my probably top 5 favorite MCU villains. Zemo is awesome. I love Zemo. He tears apart the Avengers. He brainwashes Bucky, and then he shows a video of Bucky killing Iron Man's parents, dude, and like you're just like, holy shit. And Iron Man's like, he's like, Captain America lies. The man, the Captain America, like he lies to Iron Man. Like Iron Man's like, did you know? And he's like, I didn't. And Iron Man's like, don't bullshit me. Did you know? And he was like, he was mind control, you know. And then they have the best fight in the MCU. It was done perfectly. The emotion is done perfectly. It's like do you like Batman v Superman?
No.
Exactly. Like you've seen what a bad versus like the whole Martha thing. Like the Martha thing is like that compared just knowing what that Martha thing was. Even though I don't mind it too much, I think Batman v Superman is quite fun. But just seeing like how contrived and stupid that shit is, and then seeing like Civil War, they have actual reasons. If you see your parents get killed in front of you, you're gonna beat the shit out of that guy. You know, I thought it was done great. Loved it.
Godzilla vs. Kong did better.
Haven't seen that movie, but I know how that movie's reputation is terrible, so I can't trust you with that one. Loki is the best MCU show. 3, 2, 1.
Agree.
Agree. I think She-Hulk's a close second because I really like She-Hulk.
WandaVision's a close second.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't seen She-Hulk, have you? 'Cause I love She-Hulk. I think I like Hawkeye a little bit more though, because I think WandaVision really falls apart by the end. I hate the shit that happens at the end. They make some really wonky mistakes, but I like the first few episodes. Across the Spider-Verse is the best animated movie of all time.
Agree.
I forgot to do 3, 2, 1.
I disagree.
Well, yeah, you obviously think The Incredibles. That's fine. It is your favorite movie of all time. We
then-
love Across the Spider-Verse.
Honestly, Monsters Inc. could go up there too. Honestly,
I love Monsters Inc. Not better than Spider-Verse movies though, but I do love Monsters Inc. DC overall, with all of its content, is better than Marvel. 3, 2, 1.
Disagree.
Easy agree.
disagree.
Really,
You think everything in DC is better than Marvel?
like all the comics, shows, animated movies. DC has the Batman, the Dark Knight trilogy.
Comics.
Yeah, comics included like Watchmen, all the Batman
agree
comics, The
then.
Dark Knight Returns, and then the Dark Knight trilogy alone is better than most of the MCU. I really like the Batman. Batman Under the Red Hood is great. Teen Titans Go to the Movies is great, and then Watchmen, wonderful comic. There's just so many good DC comics. You can turn that back on. And then DC shows like Peacemaker, then I'm counting everything, so that's everything. And Marvel definitely has better movies, but DC has better comics, better shows, better animated projects, better everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your defense for Marvel?
I mean, I've just always been a Marvel fan.
Bias for Marvel?
Yeah, like I've just always loved Marvel. I loved Iron Man, Captain America. I love all of them. I've heard there's a lot of good comics, like the Infinity Saga comics.
Really good. Infinity.
Supposed to be really good. The Marvel Zombies, like for the What If, they made their spin-off. Or that's really good.
Episode, I didn't really like the Zombies episode, but the comics are great.
For the
Love
What
the
If
comics.
show, they did the Zombies bad. But
Yeah, I
for
don't
the
like the
comics, I
zombies.
heard they're really good. I know there's a lot of
I have them right there. They're
like,
fantastic.
Spider-Man, like different kind of Spider-Man stories that are really good. There's just so many Marvel things that I've heard. That
Marvel has some great stuff, but it's DC,
everything
man.
about DC I've heard was like, it's just
That's just because the movies give it a bad rep, and that's like the main thing people see. But like, if
Yeah.
you take all the shows, like Peacemaker, and I'm sure there's a few good other ones, like the original Teen Titans show and Young Justice, and you take all the DC comics and the animated movies like Under the Red Hood and shit, and just the Dark Knight trilogy alone, man, so good. But like, I'm not gonna fault you at all for liking Marvel. We all love Marvel here.
It's close.
Infinity War is the best MCU movie. 3, 2, 1.
Agree.
Agree. I obviously think it's Guardians 2, The Avengers, Civil War, and then Infinity War. But I love Infinity War. Easy 9.5 out of 10. Really good film. And you guys love Infinity War, of course.
whole Infinity Saga was.
So I think that was it for today's episode. Is there
Yeah.
anything else we need to talk about?
I don't think so. We're reaching an hour.
Thank you guys
Surprisingly.
so much for watching.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed our guest. Thank you so much for coming on again.
Of course.
Of course.
Love
Thank
to
you.
come on.
Yes, we'll have you on again for sure. Thank you so much for being here. This is
Thank you
Jayden.
for having me.
Of course. This is Jayden. That's Ryan. We've been the Critical Podcast. We hope you had a good week. We hope you enjoy this episode. And bye.
See
you
ya.
later.
See ya.